Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Co-Parenting Should Be Easy. This is a podcast that discusses co-parenting topics as well as relationship topics, marriage, and any other advice that I just want to throw out there. So, thank you for joining me on this journey through my life, co-parenting, and all the fun things. In this episode, we are going to be discussing trauma bonds and how to break them and leaving the co-parenting relationship and how I broke my trauma bond. It all starts by wanting to leave. So, in my relationship, I was never really happy with my ex. And this resonated throughout the entire relationship. Well, soon after we started dating, I realized that he was texting people behind my back and talking ill of me while loving on me and love bombing me in person. There was a point where even my stepdad had passed away and my ex went out and partied instead of being with me or letting me go party with him as I wanted to. These were all red flags that I should have paid attention to early on in my relationship, but I chose not to. Later, we found out that we were having twin girls, to our shock and surprise. He did not want me to keep my pregnancy, and he wanted me to terminate early. After many fights, long nights, long tears, I decided I would not do that, and I wanted to keep my girls no matter what. So I made the decision that with or without him, I was still going to have my little babies. I love them, and they are growing to be strong, independent young women. I would not change a thing. Well, after about 2 years of drama and moving from place to place, we finally found our own place. Well, it was when I was about 5 months pregnant. We moved about 3 times before we were able to make this happen, even living with his parents for a little while. Now, the breakup. After having my cousin as a roommate for a couple months, maybe about 6 months, my ex and I had a very big blowout. This caused us to be up until 5 a.m. fighting all night. And after I decided to go to bed, my cousin and my ex were still in the kitchen having more drinks when my cousin said something that defended my honor. After making this choice, my ex decided to literally pull the rug from under my cousin. He would have hit his head on the tile if he was not standing so close to the wall. After hearing the commotion and going out there, I mistakenly made the choice of just telling them to go to bed instead of involving the authorities. After realizing my mistake and going to bed, I went to work the next day and spoke to some coworkers about the situation. They all told me they all told me the same thing. You should leave. He's going to harm you. So I took their advice, went home, and told him that he needs to go to his parents' house. I am not having him in my life anymore, and I'm done with the situation. And he did just that. So after a couple months of trying to co-parent and me getting married to a different person, his hostility only got worse. Now, the incident that broke me. I decided to go to court one day because during an arranged pickup, he did not have my children ready. Instead, they were running around naked while in their diapers, soaking. Their diapers had not been changed for hours. The bathroom door was open, and I was banging on the door with no answer. I saw him laying on the floor and my kids running around, and I panicked. I opened the front door, only to find him unconscious due to alcohol consumption, with one of his friends sitting on the couch next to him. I was not able to maintain my resilience. I was not cool, I was not calm, and I was not collected. I immediately started screaming at him because of the situation I found my children in. So after this, I decided to get my children ready and leave because I did not want the police to be called and I did not want CPS to be involved. So I made the choice to leave, have my cousin babysit them, and go to work just like I had planned. Well, after this, I still gave him opportunities to see his children, and after many weeks of fighting with him after this incident, I decided to go to court. I made a mistake. I told him that I was doing this. And in doing this, he decided to file the paperwork before I got a chance to, because I was working nights and dealing with everything with the breakup and the children and being newly married. I did not have the immediate time to go and file the paperwork. I should have filed the paperwork and never told him I was doing such, because he was able to gain 50-50 custody even though he only asked for 2 days, which would have granted me primary joint custody. Now, after a long drawn out court battle, and there will be future episodes coming in regards to this situation with tips, pointers, information, and resources. However, this is not that episode. So after this court battle and losing, I decided to try to co-parent to the best of my abilities and put my feelings to the side. I soon learned he was not able to do the same thing. He and I are still in a high conflict situation, which is why I started Co-Parenting Should Be Easy. The court battle has not ended, and it is only dragging out more. The court battle and the whole processes that I have gone through, and the lessons that I have learned through that. So I said that this episode was about breaking trauma bonds, and that's exactly what I want to talk about. I spent 6 years trauma bonded to this person. It took me until recent events to finally break that bond. I realized that I was in a high conflict co-parenting situation that was not healthy after attending a friend's birthday party. That is another story for another episode. But this situation broke me in so many ways. I realized that my co-parent does not want to co-parent with me. Instead, he is counter-parenting, which is a topic, again, for a later video. But basically, what counter-parenting means is when a co-parent is not able to put aside the resentment and feelings and pain and hatred for the other parent. Thus, they do everything in their power to hurt the relationship. They do not have an interest in working together and actually co-parenting. This type of situation does not foster family outings, birthday parties, or any holidays to be spent with each other because of how hostile they are. So I just wanted to say I broke my trauma bond by going through another trauma reaction. I did not react well, and I made the choice to never react that way again. I realized that I cannot go no contact because of our co-parenting situation. However, I can go low contact. And that means I only communicate when necessary and share information that is necessary, and only about the children, never about myself, my job, my relationship, my personal life, my friends, hobbies, dreams, expectations, anything. I only share the reasonable boundaries that I have when it comes to our children. So, when a child feels like they are in the middle of two parents, they are having an internal conflict of love for the other parent, the parent that is being degraded, and the parent that is doing the degrading. In most cases, they know that this behavior is wrong, but they are forced to be in a situation where the parent either has too much resentment or hatred or just ill will for the other parent. My court battle has been long and drawn out. It has been such a horrible experience, and that's for a different episode. The courts are not trained to handle high conflict situations, especially like mine, or they are mostly focused on high addiction cases or high abuse cases or other cases that are more important. So I hope that this helps. I'm sorry if it was a little choppy. Parental alienation is such a deep issue, and a lot of research needs to be done. The courts need to be aware of this issue, and it needs to be brought into light a lot more. So thank you for following this video. Thank you for listening. I'm trying to turn this into a podcast. This is going to be one of the episodes that I really try to turn into a podcast. I might put all of my episodes together at one point and put out a long form video. Thank you for following. If you gained any knowledge or any value from this video, please like, share, and subscribe, or follow, whatever the case may be. And I'll see you in the next